What's good, cause? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm bringing you guys another NFL playoff type of prediction video. Today we are going to be talking about all four possible Super Bowl scenarios for Super Bowl 55 that could possibly happen, whether it be the Bills versus the Packers, Tampa Bay versus the Chiefs, etc. We're going to do all four of them here and who would win each individual scenario. So if you guys are excited for the video, please do me a favor and drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys have not done so already. I think 90% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed, so if you guys could please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs one day, so please do me a favor and hit that button. But if you guys are excited for the video, I'm not going to hold you any longer. Let's get it.
Minika, watch me on Twitch, ooh, I'm streaming. I'm on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, red button beaming. Let's get that sub count, take over YouTube, ooh, we teaming. My content so hot, ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Red button beaming.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you'll see on the screen right now, we have the four teams that are left right now in the NFL playoffs for the 2020-2021 season. And in today's video, we are going to be doing every single Super Bowl matchup that is possible between these four teams, which is four possible Super Bowl outcomes. So we will be going through each individual one by one and seeing who would win that respective matchup. So the first one we're going to start off with is the one that I have been predicting since I made my first NFL playoff prediction video, and that is both the number one seeds making it to the Super Bowl as the Chiefs face the number one seeded Packers, both number one seeds in their respective conferences. And this is the Super Bowl I believe that is going to happen after we see the conference championship games this weekend. What I did say though, which I'll get into when I do the Bills versus the Packers, if Patrick Mahomes does not play, I'm not sure what his status is. I think he's still not confirmed that he's starting, but I think it leans to him starting. I think the Bills will probably wind up winning that, but we'll get to that in a second. So we have Chiefs Packers with Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers makes it back to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2010. It's been a long time. He did win when he was there, but he hasn't been there in 10 years. If he wants to be in that GOAT conversation, which a lot of people think he's the most skilled quarterback of all time, but he's definitely not the most accomplished. So he has to win another Super Bowl to be part of that illustrious group of being one of the best quarterbacks of all time. And he goes up against a young, up-and-coming, possible GOAT already, Patrick Mahomes, who one day could be in the conversation for the GOAT, especially if he wins, his second Super Bowl and 2 Super Bowl appearances. He's made it to 3 straight AFC Championship games. Every year he's been in the league so far as a starter for the full year, they've made it to at least the AFC Championship game, so that's crazy. But Patrick Mahomes is compared to Aaron Rodgers a lot when they talk about the most talented players to throw the football. They're saying these are the only 2 guys who can make certain throws, and they can only make throws that the other one can make, and not anybody else in the league can do that. Oops. Excuse me, I had an alarm there. But like I was saying, yeah, so they can only make throws that each other can make, but nobody else in the league could really make them. A lot of people compare them to each other, but nobody else in the league. So this will really determine, who the better quarterback is. I know Aaron Rodgers is later into his career, but he's probably the runaway MVP, so he's still playing at an elite level, and he's getting Patrick Mahomes in his prime, or maybe not even his prime yet. So this would be, I think, the most fun Super Bowl that we could possibly get, with the best 2 offenses, I think, left in the championship games right now. The Bills do have a great offense, so the Buccaneers, but I think these are the top 2. So let's talk about the defenses a little bit. The defenses of both of these teams, I'd say, leans more towards the Packers. The Chiefs do have some playmakers, but the Packers D-line played really well against the Rams last week in the divisional round, and if they do the same thing against the Buccaneers, they can put pressure on Mahomes, but Mahomes can scramble out of the pocket, so he's not always going to be, stagnant in the pocket where the defensive line can get to him. He can move around the pocket, and that's the trouble, is trying to guard him when he tries to make plays outside the pocket. But the same could be said about Aaron Rodgers. He's got to try to get away from Frank Clark, Chris Jones. Then you have Tyrann Mathieu at the safety position, and they have some decent cornerbacks there in Kansas City. But then they have Jair Alexander on the Packers. You got Adrian Amos in the secondary there. You got Darnell Savage. You got a bunch of different guys who can make plays on both of these defenses. But I think it would be an offensive game throughout the entire game. In my opinion, I think it'd be a very high scoring game. So I think it would come down to that last second field goal or touchdown. So with that being said, it's hard to pick a winner because you don't know who the last person to get the ball is going to be in this scenario. But I'm going to go with the team I've been picking since the beginning, and that is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs will win scenario number 1 against the Green Bay Packers. Okay, the second scenario that we have that could possibly happen in Super Bowl 55 is the number 1 seeded Chiefs facing off against the number 5 seeded Buccaneers, who will be playing a home Super Bowl if they are to make it down there in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. Will be the first team to ever play a home Super Bowl, so that would be crazy. Kind of rooting for that low-key a little bit. That'd be pretty interesting, but I think it will be Chiefs Packers, but that'd be cool to see a team play in their home stadium in the Super Bowl. But let's get into who I think would win this game. So the Buccaneers and the Chiefs did actually play each other this year. I think it was either week 11 or 12, and the Chiefs wind up winning. You know, they dominated the Buccaneers in the first half, but then the Buccaneers shut them out pretty well in the second half. I don't know if they scored no points, but I don't think they scored a lot during the second half. But Tyreek Hill had a game. I think he was over 200 yards receiving. I think he had either 2 or 3 touchdowns. The man couldn't be stopped against the Buccaneers when they played there down in Tampa. But it wasn't a blowout because Tampa Bay did come back and made it a game, made it respectful. I think if the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was able to get that stop towards the end of the game when the Chiefs had the ball, they might have even have won the game or at least sent it to overtime. So that was a pretty interesting game that we saw in the regular season. I think it was a very fun one. And Tampa Bay has grown a lot since their bye week. I think since their bye week, they've gone 6 or 7-0, including the playoffs. I'm not sure exactly which week they went on bye, but I think it was either 6 or 7-0, you know, since they went on to the bye week. So they've been playing lights out. Their offense has been playing very, very good. They didn't play that well against the Saints offensively, but they did have 4 turnovers against the Saints. So if they're able to force turnovers and put their offense in a position where it's going to be easy to score some points, they could run up the score on you very, very easily because they could do it without getting the turnovers. So if you give them that great field position, they're going to punish you with that, and they're going to be able to capitalize. But with that being said, let's talk about the Chiefs a little bit. So the Chiefs, obviously Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, a good offensive line. They have all the weapons they need to, you know, challenge that Tampa Bay secondary, linebackers, defensive line, their whole defense. It's going to be a hell of a game if these two teams do match up. Buccaneers do have the best linebacker tandem, I think, in the league with Levante David and Devin White. So they can maybe disguise some coverages. You never know if they're going to come and blitz Patrick Mahomes, even though Patrick Mahomes can get out of the pocket and scramble and make stuff happen. The play is never dead with Patrick Mahomes, which is really, really crazy. But, you know, I think they have the best linebackers in the league, the Buccaneers. So you can disguise coverages, you can blitz them, you could stay in coverage, and you could try to, like, challenge Patrick Mahomes and confuse him and see if he'll throw an interception and force some turnovers. But that's the only way I think that the Buccaneers will be able to win this game. I don't think they could outshoot out them, the Kansas City Chiefs. They could put up points. I think it would definitely still be a high-scoring game, but I think they'd still fall short. I'll contest with them the entire game. I think they would grow tired or not be able to just keep up with them in general. So I think the Chiefs also would win this one, and they would win both scenarios in the Super Bowl. So Chiefs fans, if you guys make it to the Super Bowl, you're looking good. You're perfect 2-0 in the Super Bowl. Okay, we have scenario number 3 now, and this is probably the least likely to happen of all the scenarios. If you ask anybody, if you think the Bills and the Buccaneers have both upset the Chiefs and the Packers, they'll probably tell you it's not likely to happen. So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think this matchup will happen, but if it does, it will shock everybody if the Bills and the Buccaneers can upset those 2 #1 seeds. And it'd be pretty cool to see both underdogs here in the Super Bowl. Once again, Tampa Bay playing that first Super Bowl at home in NFL history, and they're going up against another top offense in the Buffalo Bills. And the difference between the Bills and the Chiefs, the Bills have very good cornerbacks. They have a very good secondary. Their pass rush is okay, but Tom Brady only struggles really against, you know, teams with a pretty good pass rush. Even when you give him time, no matter how good your secondary is, he can still pick you apart. He knows how to get the ball out. He knows how to not take sacks. He knows how to thread the needle. He knows the smart plays to make, and that's what I think he would do against the Bills. So I think it'll be a very high-scoring game. The Bills can't really run the ball, to be completely honest, that well with Singletary and those other guys that they have there to run the ball. So that would be a struggle, even though the Buccaneers are the #1 run defense as it is. So it would basically be a whole passing game for Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, those guys. They would have to pass the ball like crazy, throw for over 300-400 yards if they want a chance to win this game. On the other hand, the Buccaneers can run the ball with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones, a nice 1-2 combo. You got Mike Evans, you got Antonio Brown, you got Godwin, Gronk, players and Gronk and Tom Brady that have been in this scenario before. The Bills are all new to it, and I'm sure Tom Brady has taught those guys in the locker room, you know, how to win in the Super Bowl. So I think with the veteran leadership that the Buccaneers have, as well as the weapons offensively and defensively that we talked about in both of their scenarios, I think they get the best of the Buffalo Bills here, and I think the Buccaneers would beat the Bills if it was to go to the Super Bowl, but I think it would be a high-scoring game as well, and it'd be pretty fun. Okay, now we have scenario 4. So last but not least, we have the 2-seeded Buffalo Bills, Bills Mafia, and the #1 overall seed in the Green Bay Packers facing off at Super Bowl 55 down there in Tampa Bay, Raymond James Stadium. Sorry, Buccaneers fans, you guys didn't make it here to play that home Super Bowl. And the Chiefs fans, you guys are not repeating this year. I'm sorry, but 3 AFC Championship games in 3 years is pretty nice. But let's talk about who I think would win this game, and let's talk about both sides first. I'll start off with the Bills, as we just talked about in the Bills versus Buccaneers Buccaneers potential Super Bowl. The Bills offense is very, very nice. And then the difference, I think, in this game between the Buccaneers playing them and the Packers playing them, they might even have a little bit of advantage when it comes to them playing offensively the Bills, because the Packers run defense has not been that good this year. It's been better as of late, but it was not good majority of this year, and the Bills have a struggle running the ball. So when you play a bad run defense and you can't run the ball really, hopefully this is a game where you'll be able to run the rock a little bit. If you could just get somewhat of a ground game going, that opens up the pass game a lot for Josh Allen and those guys. That would be much better for their offense instead. So I think they have a better offensive matchup if they went up against the Packers in the Super Bowl. Whereas if they went up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because you can do the pass and the run against Packers, where you don't probably pass against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when you're a Bills team who can't really run the ball. And like their defense, like I said, you got Tre'Davious White, who could put on Devontae Adams. You probably shadow coverage him with another corner over there. You know, just try to double team him, take him out of the equation if you can. You have that elite secondary in Buffalo that you could do that. Possibly. I know Devontae Adams is a beast, so maybe not, but that's what you got to try to do if you're Buffalo. You have Aaron Jones there in Green Bay as well, who could run the ball pretty well, catch it out of the backfield. Jamal Williams, AJ Dillon, they're all pretty good running backs. So the Packers could run the ball. And obviously, Aaron Rodgers is playing like an MVP level. He is just making every single throw that he needs to make. They're blowing teams out. They're just running up the score like crazy. They would definitely be favored in this game, and rightfully so. They are the number 1 seed. They go 13-3 in the regular season. They've been dominating the playoffs so far. If they make it here, they beat Tom Brady to get here. So Aaron Rodgers not playing no games. Again, first Super Bowl since 2010. Been 10 years, and he wants that second ring to put him in that GOAT conversation. And in this scenario, I think he gets it. I think the Packers will beat the Buffalo Bills. I think that offense has just too much firepower probably for the Bills to handle. It would definitely be another high-scoring game. All 4 of these games, I think, are going to be high-scoring. None of these teams really have great defenses. They're okay, but none of them are like top 5 in defense or anything like that, where it's going to be one of the top offenses against the top defense. It's just going to be mostly high-scoring games with turnovers here and there, and those, you know, small turnovers, if they're 1 or 2 for these games, that's going to be the deciding factor on who's going to win these games. So I'm going to go with the Packers beating the Bills here in another fun one. All the Super Bowls are fun, but yeah, Green Bay Packers, I think, will win this one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Buffalo Bills fans, I'm sorry that you guys don't get a Super Bowl win in this scenario in any instance. I just don't think this is your year, but that doesn't mean that I am 100% correct. If you guys think your team is going to win the Super Bowl, that's completely okay with me. But here today, we had the Chiefs, you know, as a summary real quick, we had the Chiefs getting 2 Super Bowls. Tampa Bay gets a Super Bowl, and Green Bay gets a Super Bowl. So one of these scenarios for 3 of those teams is looking good, and you guys have a possibility to win. But like I said, it's not 100% correct. So obviously, your team can win the Super Bowl. Any of these teams can win the Super Bowl. They're all very, very talented teams. But with that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, please do me a favor and drop a like. I would greatly appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so already. We'll be doing a ton of more NFL playoff content until the NFL playoffs end with Super Bowl 55. And then I'll probably even do some off-season content. If you guys want to see that, let me know down in the comments down below, as well as tell me which team you guys think will win the Super Bowl down in the comments below. Also, make sure to follow me on my social links, which will be in the description, my Twitter and my Twitch account especially. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.